In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NFL games happening on December 15, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these two NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Miami Dolphins versus Houston Texans. The Miami Dolphins are set to face off against the Houston Texans this Sunday in Houston, with both teams striving to solidify their positions in the American Football Conference playoff race. The Dolphins have been resurgent, winning 4 out of their last 5 games and holding on to a slim chance at the postseason with a 6-7 record. Meanwhile, the Texans, fresh off their bye week, boast an 8-5 record and sit comfortably atop the American Football Conference South Division. Miami's season began on a rocky note, with the team stumbling to a 2-6 start that included losses to the Bills, Seahawks, Titans, Colts, Cardinals, and another defeat to the Bills. However, the Dolphins turned things around with consecutive victories over the Chargers, Raiders, and Patriots before falling to the Packers. In their most recent outing against the Jets, Miami overcame a fourth-quarter deficit of 23-15. Forcing overtime and ultimately claiming a dramatic 32-26 victory. The Texans kicked off their campaign in dominant fashion, achieving a 6-2 record with wins over the Colts, Bears, Jaguars, Bills, Patriots, and another triumph over the Colts. However, their performance has been inconsistent since, going 2-3 in their last 5 games, with losses to the Jets, Lions, and Titans, tempered by wins over the Cowboys and Jaguars. In a tight December 1st contest against Jacksonville, Houston entered the fourth quarter leading 16-6, but had to fend off a late Jaguars rally to secure a narrow 23-20 win. As they return from their bye week, the Houston Texans are gearing up for the final stretch of the regular season, beginning with Sunday's home game against the Miami Dolphins. The Texans enjoy a 2-game lead in the American Football Conference South and are looking to maintain their momentum as they head into the postseason. The home field advantage at NRG Stadium and a well-rested squad provide additional reasons for optimism. Facing a Dolphins team ranked near the bottom of the league in sacks, Houston is poised to capitalize on Miami's inability to consistently pressure the quarterback. Though Miami's defense has been solid overall, its struggles to disrupt opposing quarterbacks may spell trouble against Houston's C.J. Stroud. For the Dolphins, skepticism remains despite the presence of a healthy Tua Tagovailoa. Miami's performance has improved from its dismal first half of the season, but recent outings, such as a blowout loss to Green Bay followed by a narrow overtime win against the struggling Jets, raise concerns. The Dolphins are 6-7 overall and just 2-4 in road games, where their losses have varied significantly in margin, from close contests to decisive defeats. The Texans will focus on leveraging their strengths to secure a victory against Miami. Houston's defensive prowess, particularly its ability to pressure quarterbacks, ranks second in the league in sacks per game. This poses a significant challenge to Miami's fast-paced passing attack, led by Tagovailoa's quick-release style. The Texans are also strong against the pass, ranking 7th in the league, and can effectively contain Miami's receivers. While Houston's defensive weakness lies in stopping the run, the Dolphins have struggled mightily in that department, ranking 30th in the NFL. Miami has attempted to counteract this with a screen game featuring Devin Achane, but it remains an area of concern. On offense, the Texans will look to exploit Miami's lackluster pass rush, which is ranked 30th in the league. With Nico Collins back in action, Houston's passing game has flourished. Collins recorded 8 receptions for 119 yards in a recent win against Jacksonville, opening up opportunities for other playmakers like tight end Dalton Schultz and receiver Tank Dell. This dynamic attack, combined with the Dolphins' defensive struggles in pressuring quarterbacks, should allow Stroud to remain comfortable in the pocket and execute big plays downfield. This matchup pits Houston's formidable defense against Miami's high-powered passing offense, creating an intriguing clash of strengths. With the Texans benefiting from home field advantage and a bye week to prepare, they appear to have the edge. The Dolphins' defense, while respectable overall, has struggled to create pressure, a vulnerability Houston is well equipped to exploit. While the game is expected to be competitive, the Texans' defensive and offensive advantages, coupled with key intangibles, give them the upper hand. Houston is likely to deal a blow to Miami's postseason aspirations in this one, so the Houston Texans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Houston's offense, tied with Kansas City for the 5th most points scored in the American Football Conference, has scored at least 23 points in 4 consecutive games. Running back Joe Mixon has been a revelation in his debut season with the Texans, surpassing 100 rushing yards in 7 of 10 games. His presence has alleviated pressure on C.J. Stroud, who has continued to excel despite the absence of Stephon Diggs. Stroud has utilized weapons like Nico Collins and Tank Dell effectively, keeping Houston's passing attack potent. Miami's offense has seen a resurgence since Tagovailoa's return from a concussion, scoring at least 23 points in 6 of their last 7 games, including 3 performances exceeding 30 points. However, the Dolphins' struggles in cold weather environments, as evidenced in their loss to Green Bay, remain a concern. The Texans, with their 11th ranked scoring offense, are well positioned to exploit Miami's inability to pressure the quarterback. Houston's strong ball security, reflected in their 4th place ranking in turnover differential, adds another layer of confidence. Given Houston's week of rest, home field advantage, and Miami's defensive vulnerabilities, this game is likely to feature plenty of scoring. The Texans' balanced attack, coupled with the Dolphins' propensity for late-game rallies, suggests that the game will surpass the total mark. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Commanders versus New Orleans Saints. 2 national teams fighting for their postseason aspirations but sitting on opposite sides of the playoff cut line will face off in a crucial matchup in the Big Easy. The Washington Commanders are set to hit the road, traveling south to clash with the New Orleans Saints on Sunday afternoon. Washington enters the game fresh off a bye week, following an emphatic home victory against the Tennessee Titans on December 1st, where they secured a dominant 42-19 win, easily covering the spread as 6-point favorites. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints narrowly edged out the New York Giants with a 14-11 road victory last Sunday, though they fell short of covering the 5.5-point spread. In the regular season head-to-head history, Washington holds a commanding 17-11 edge over New Orleans, but the Saints emerged victorious in their most recent encounter, a 33-22 triumph on the road on October 10, 2021. The Washington Commanders enter Week 15 with an 8-5 record, coming off a resounding victory over the Tennessee Titans in their last outing. In that contest, Washington delivered a dominant performance, scoring the first 28 points and maintaining complete control throughout the game. They outgained Tennessee by a wide margin of 463-245 in total yardage, forced 2 turnovers compared to 1 of their own, and demonstrated efficiency by converting 9 of their 14 third-down attempts. This victory snapped a 3-game losing streak during which they fell to Dallas, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. Statistically, Washington's offense has been productive, averaging 29 points per game alongside 220.7 passing yards and 156.9 rushing yards per contest. Defensively, they've allowed 23 points per game, showcasing a reasonably balanced performance on both sides of the ball. The New Orleans Saints, sitting at 5-8 this season, managed to eke out a narrow 14-11 victory over the New York Giants in their most recent game. Leading 7-3 at halftime, the Saints successfully fended off a late comeback attempt to secure the win. However, the performance left much to be desired, as New Orleans was outgained 325-292 in total yardage and went just 5 for 1-5 on third downs while tying the turnover battle at 1 apiece. Prior to that win, the Saints had suffered a 21-14 loss to the Los Angeles Rams, but did manage to claim victories over the Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons in preceding weeks. The Saints' offense has averaged 22 points per game, with 212.8 passing yards and 128.7 rushing yards per contest, while their defense has surrendered an average of 22.5 points per game. The Washington Commanders will look to extend their momentum as they travel to New Orleans on Sunday. After enduring a 3-game losing streak, Washington rebounded decisively by dismantling Tennessee in Week 13 and benefited from a subsequent bye week to rest and prepare for this critical matchup. Head coach Dan Quinn's squad, led by the likes of Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin, should find opportunities to exploit a struggling New Orleans defense. Despite Daniels cooling off somewhat after an electric start to his rookie season, McLaurin has been a standout performer, exceeding 100 receiving yards in 3 of the last 6 games and tallying 5 touchdowns during that stretch. The Saints' defensive unit, riddled with injuries, faces an uphill battle containing Washington's dynamic passing attack. New Orleans, meanwhile, finds itself grappling with a slew of injuries that have severely impacted their offensive capabilities. Quarterback Derek Carr is dealing with both a fractured hand and a concussion, leaving his availability highly uncertain. Running back Alvin Kamara and tight end Juwan Johnson are also listed as questionable, further compounding the Saints' issues. Even when fully healthy, New Orleans has struggled to find consistency, with their last impressive performance dating back to Week 2. While they have shown marginal improvement under interim coach Darren Rizzi compared to Dennis Allen's tenure, the injury report is a significant concern. With Carr and Kamara potentially sidelined and wide receivers Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave on injured reserve, New Orleans lacks the firepower to keep pace with an explosive Commanders team. The last meeting between these two teams came in 2021, with the Saints earning a 33-22 victory. However, Washington's current form and health offer a stark contrast to the battered and inconsistent Saints. Following their dominant win over Tennessee, the Commanders had the benefit of a bye to recharge and refocus for the stretch run. In contrast, New Orleans barely escaped with a win against one of the league's weakest teams and faces significant personnel challenges. With a rested roster and superior talent, Washington is positioned to capitalize on New Orleans' vulnerabilities. Against the spread, the Commanders have been reliable this season, boasting a 6-2 record in their last 8 matchups against New Orleans and a respectable 3-2-1 against the spread record on the road. With these factors in their favor, the Washington Commanders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Much of this game's outcome hinges on the availability of Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara for New Orleans, which also affects the total score projection. Carr's status appears doubtful, while Kamara is expected to play as his illness should resolve by game time. If Kamara suits up, he'll face a Washington defense that ranks 27th in the league against the run, allowing 4.8 yards per rushing attempt. Additionally, the Commanders' secondary has been porous, surrendering 21 passing touchdowns while recording just 4 interceptions, the third worst mark in the NFL. In the event Carr is unavailable, backup Spencer Rattler or Jake Keener will step in. While neither option is particularly impressive, both have shown flashes of competence and can contribute to moderate offensive production. On the other side, New Orleans' defense ranks last in the league in yards allowed per rushing attempt and is 28th in passing defense. Washington has consistently seen high-scoring games, with the over hitting in 9 of their 13 matchups this season. This trend has been especially pronounced on the road, where the Commanders have gone over the total in 5 of 6 contests. New Orleans has also leaned toward higher scoring games, with the over hitting in 7 of their 13 games, including 4 of their 7 home matchups. Given Washington's offensive explosiveness and defensive vulnerabilities, there is a strong potential for points in this contest. Although New Orleans' offensive capabilities are limited, they should be able to contribute enough against Washington's defense to push the score past the total. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.